So everyone, welcome to Roma Theory as Roma prepare the big game on Sunday night against AC Milan away in a very crucial top 4 encounter, top 4 clash if we want to call it that way. And in this live stream I'm going to go through my predicted 11. We're going to talk about Milan, we're going to talk about us. So yeah, prepare for it. If you haven't already, please make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. But obviously again, we can't start this live stream. It's been a while. I've been saying this many times since in these past few weeks, but unfortunately today we lost yet another very important person in the country of Italy, but not just in the country of Italy. An example to everyone, I am speaking about Gianluca Vialli, who lost his battle against pancreatic cancer. We were talking about him a few weeks ago, just when Pele died, and how his situation was a critical situation. Because it's one of those illnesses which, especially affecting an organ which is very, very, very rare to kind of battle out. But he did lose this battle again, and I mean it's really sad. I've actually been reading this book since quite a long while, and it's a book written by both Vialli and Mancini. Vialli and Mancini are respectively the first coach and the assistant coach of the Italian national team, but basically spent an entire lifetime together, played at Sampdoria together. They were called the best duo because of the way they played, but most importantly because of their friendship. And Mancini is definitely going to be heartbroken today. He lost a friend. A friend is a friend. So it's very, very sad. He was very young. 58 years old is the peak of your life, if we want to call it that way. But yeah, I mean, I'm really disappointed for this, because it's just one of those. I mean, like everyone, but it's just one of those. He's just one of those, so innocent, right? He's very innocent. Has been an example to everyone. So and this book, as I said before, really emphasizes it. So if there's anything I can recommend, is get this book, because it's very, very interesting, and it emphasizes the bond that Mancini had with Vialli. So yeah, rest up, rest in peace. Condolences to him, his family, as the world of football lose yet another legend. But let's talk about Sunday's game, because it's a very important game. It's one of those very delicate games, because we either sneak a win like we did against Inter Milan, which is very rare in my opinion. We either sneak a little win or we get battered. Starting this live stream, I'm going to say to you, Sunday's game, in my opinion, is not going to end as a draw. We either win and sneak it, or we either get battered by Milan. I don't see a 1-1, 0-0, 2-2 kind of game. I don't see a game where I see a game where one of the two teams takes advantage and the other team doesn't react. And don't get me wrong, we could easily win Sunday's game. We did so against Inter Milan. We can. We have that little talent of surprising big clubs, even though we're playing really badly. But at the same time, it could go either way. I mean, Milan are obviously favourites. Milan have all the potentials to batter us on Sunday, especially if we don't mark our players really well, because Giroud and Leao, if they're even going to spend 2 seconds without a marking, then they're going to exploit their chances and score. It's going to be a very tough game. I'm looking forward to it, as I said before, because I've actually missed Roma play against a big club, but I don't want to mention predictions as things stand. It's a very important game for both sides. It's a very important game for Milan, because, Napoli, yes, I still think Napoli will win the league, but the fact that they lost the first game back and broke the winning streak definitely doesn't help. Don't get me wrong, I don't think Napoli will lose points against Sampdoria. But if Milan want to try and hope in fighting back against Napoli, then they have to win against us. So it's an important match for them, and it's even more important for us, because we have to shut down all the hate which is coming our way. We have to try and keep up with the train, with the top 4 train. We have to try and keep our distances from Atalanta, maybe sneak a distance with Lazio, and we'll have to put pressure on Inter, Juventus, Milan, and all of these teams. But it's definitely an important game for both sides. When it comes to when it comes to talent and when it comes to experience also, and also when it comes to dealing with matches well, Milan are 100% the favourites in this. Milan have got players which Roma don't have. You look at Leao, you look at Giroud and the amazing World Cup campaign which he's been living. You look at their defence, Theo Hernandez, World Cup finalist, Tomori in defence. So definitely, it's definitely going to be a tough game. I mean, I've said this already, but we have to avoid conceding early goals. We normally concede very early goals against big clubs, which is something which we have to avoid. Because I think the second we score an early goal against Milan, who are a very fast team, most probably the fastest team in the league, and then if we concede an early goal, then we're forced to kind of open up to try and find spaces to try and equalise. And the second they hit us on a counter-attack, they will score more goals. So it's definitely going to be a game where we have to deal with them really carefully. It's going to be one of those games where we need a Smalling masterclass, and not just a Smalling masterclass. We need Ibanez and Mancini to turn up in this game. And as you're probably seeing on the screen, I don't think Mourinho will get back to 4 defenders at the back. I want him to, but he's not going to. So we are going to play with Smalling, Mancini and Ibanez. We are going to start with them 3 at the back. Ibanez falls under a lot of pressure against big sides. He's coming from a very big mistake in the last big game we played. He's going to feel the pressure. Mancini is always a bit of a liability. Smalling is the centre. If Smalling doesn't turn up to that game, then not even Mancini and Ibanez will. So the game will be based upon Smalling, even more than Dybala, if you ask me. But yeah, I mean, let's talk about the predicted 11. I've gone with Rupert in goal, Mancini, Ibanez, and Smalling to play. Then my 4 midfielders, I'm going with Cilic. Again, Cilic will definitely start over Korsdorp. The big question is, could Mourinho start both Zalewski and Spina on the 2 fullbacks? That's a good question. Will he take such a risk in such a big game? I don't know. It could happen. I've not predicted it. So I'm going to stick with Cilic and Spina to start. But I wouldn't be surprised if Spina gets dropped and Zalewski starts. Spina is not coming from a good physical moment. He's been suffering some little injuries once in a while lately. So he's definitely not going to be 100% fit for this game. We need players who are ready. Then I'm going Matic and Pellegrini in the middle. The big question here is Tahirovic. Because I actually am reading that Mourinho could start Tahirovic. I think it would be a big mistake to start Tahirovic in this game. Because I think we need experience to... I mean, our weakest position is the midfielder, right? We've said this many times. Milan have got a really good midfielder. I think they've got the player which this team needs the most. A player like Tonali, who shows leadership, aggression, combines them together, bags the goals and contributions. Box-to-box midfielder, that is what Roma needs. And I think to compete against Tonali, who's got a good physique, who's got that leadership, who's got that aggression, but most importantly, has got the breadth, meaning he runs absolutely everywhere, we need experience. And I think Matic is needed to cover Tonali's position. I think Pellegrini will drop down in the defensive midfielder, box-to-box midfielders, just because Tammy will start, in my opinion. We'll get on to Tammy in a second. If Tammy doesn't start, then Pellegrini is gonna play next to Dybala, just like Bologna. So if Tammy doesn't start, we're gonna see Nico striker, Dybala and Pellegrini behind him, and we're probably going to see Tahirovic and Matic, or Tahirovic and Cristante, or Cristante and Matic, which again would be a massive mistake. Kamara can't play in this. I mean, he can play, but he has actually what's it called? An ankle injury, so he's going to sit on the bench for this one, I'm reading. So that's my predicted 11. Dybala and Nico both got minor injuries against Bologna, or both back. They were just minor injuries. Dybala's injury was a little cramp and Nico's injury was a little contusion. They're back for this game, and thank God they're back, because they can be the game deciders. They could be the game changers. Let's not forget that Milan have got a good defense under Tomori, but I don't think Kalulu's amazing. And Magnan is injured and Tataruzanu will play. He's a liability, meaning we have to shoot. That's controversial because the one thing which lacked against Bologna was shots. We have to shoot because Tataruzanu can easily bottle things. Their defense is basically based around Tomori. Another reason why I'm starting Tammy is because Tammy knows Tomori really well. They're like best friends. They went to the Maldives together this summer. They played at Chelsea together. Tammy invited Tomori at his baby shower a few weeks ago. They're best friends. They've been playing football together since they were 8 years old. Meaning Tammy knows how to potentially kind of, I don't know, do something with Tomori. Obviously, the same discussion will be applied to Tomori. He knows Tammy really well. He knows Tammy's movements really well. But again, we've discussed in yesterday's live stream how I think Tammy has to start. I think I list 3 reasons why Tammy has to start. First reason is because the only reason why we could get Tammy away from this black hole that he's living is by starting him and getting the faith back. If we sit him on the bench, then he's gonna get even more depressed. Second of all, Nico didn't play well against Bologna as a striker. He needs time to adapt, and in a game like Milan, we can't spend time adapting. And third reason is because Nico got a minor injury against Bologna, meaning he's not 100% fit for this game. He's going to be ready for this game, but he's not 100% fit. And playing as a striker means, you know, receiving a lot of contusions and stuff. So that's 3 reasons why I think Tammy has to start. Again, Dybala in this game, we need Dybala who shoots. Linking to what we said before, we have to shoot in this game. They've got their second goalkeeper, if not even third goalkeeper, in goal. Magnan is injured. So that is why we have to shoot. Even if because at the end of the day, even if we don't shoot, we're never going to score. It's that easy to explain, but that unfortunately is the problem which we saw against Bologna. We never ever shot. However, for the ball to go at the back of the net, unless you win penalties and stuff, you have to shoot. So we need someone who shoots, and the only player who shoots in this team is Dybala. That's why we need a masterclass from Dybala. We need Dybala who creates. We need Dybala. We need Inter Milan Dybala. We need Dybala that played against Inter Milan, who grabbed us a goal and an assist, if I'm not wrong, something like that. So it could go either way. I'll be honest with you. I was more worried about the Bologna game than this game, just because against small sides we always play shit games. Against Milan, you never know. They're better than us, but we can turn up to games. And this has been a clear statistic against Inter Milan, against Juventus. So it is true, they're favourites. It is true they've got more talent in their team. It is true that if I had to bet my money on a team, it would definitely be AC Milan. But I see this team playing better with big clubs than small clubs. With small clubs, we don't know what to do. With teams which close up, we don't know what to do. So Milan are going to open up. Milan are going to try and batter us here. So let's not think Milan will play defensively in this game. It's on us. We don't have to park the bus. We have to balance the attack and the defense really well. Meaning, we don't have to play like we played against Napoli, where for 80 minutes we defended and for 10 minutes we attacked in the first 10 minutes. We have to play 90 minutes well balanced between both the defense and the attack. Matic and Madi in midfielder, never happen. You'll play Cristante. I mean, Madi definitely won't start this game because, as I said before, he got an ankle injury. So it's not an injury, just an ankle problem. So he's going to sit this one out. I pray for a back four. Chilik and Zalewski should start. I mean, yeah, I think Zalewski can easily start. I just put Spina because Spina's got more experience, but I wouldn't be surprised if Zalewski starts at all. If he's trained enough, I'd play Dybala, Pele, and Solbakken behind Tammy. Nico needs to come off the bench. That's interesting. I don't think Solbakken will start. I think Solbakken is not gonna even get subbed in this game. I think, however, listen to this carefully, because we've got Milan on Sunday, and then we've got a Coppa Italia game at home against Genoa. I'm not gonna get into that game. That game will have its own match preview. But the 12th of January, we're gonna play in the Coppa Italia. That's where Solbakken should play full 90 minutes. That's where Tammy should play full 90 minutes. Because that game at home against Genoa is that classic game where Tammy can easily get a brace, which could lift him up from this dark period. If Tammy doesn't even score against Genoa, even after we start him for 90 minutes, then that is where the problems come. But I think Solbakken has to start on Thursday against Genoa in the Coppa Italia. Right, let's read some comments. Prediction. I don't like predictions. I'm gonna go. Obviously, seeing the latest performances, you can't be really optimistic about this game. I think a surprise can happen. You know, when no one expects things, things normally happen. As I said before, I'm more confident about this game than I was with Bologna on Thursday. However, I do still think we'll lose. I think Milan will want it more. And that's something which we have been lacking since the start of the season, wanting the 3 points more than the opponents. Milan will want it more. So I'm going to go 3-1 Milan. But again, as I said before, I'm more optimistic about this game just because something can happen when no one expects it than the Bologna game. Because I'm aware that my team plays better against big teams than small teams. It's going to be a fun game either way. So live watch along on Sunday will be fun. Right, let's read some comments. I've been a key follower right from the day Mourinho joined Roma, and Miki was key to Roma's creativity last season, such that once he's absent, the team struggled and he hasn't been replaced. I mean, yeah, I totally agree with that, but it is also true that Dybala did replace him. So I agree. We miss Mkhitaryan so much, but it's also not true saying that he hasn't been replaced, because Dybala is kind of the replacement. And obviously, he was going to be replaced by Gini and Dybala together by adding a further step onto Miki. But we miss Miki 100%. And I think that's why we have to see this team with Gini, because let's not forget the injuries is, in my opinion, what brought us in such a tough moment. I 100% think it's the injuries. So we have to see this team with Dybala and Gini. But I agree. I mean, Mkhitaryan, we miss Mkhitaryan a lot. But it is also true that we do have Dybala. So I don't know. But I do definitely agree with that comment. If Gini and Fratesio or Awar join, you will see the improvement. Matic, oh yeah, read that. I'm optimistic though. I like seeing the Fab 4 in the starting lineup. Let's go Fab 4. Simon, can you give us a Sui? Is Mourinho back for this game? No, he's not back for this game. He'll be back on Thursday in the Coppa Italia. And then, who are we playing next weekend? At home? Let's see. I think it's Fiorentina at home. Yeah, it's Fiorentina at home, which will end the first official round of the league. Yeah, so Fiorentina at home next weekend is going to be the last first round game, and then we restart all over again. Miss Verity a lot as well. We really gotta watch out for Rafa Leao. He's absolutely incredible. Best new Portugal player, the successor to Ronaldo. Still can't believe Santos didn't. Leao is insane. Leao's the best player in the league. So that's why I fear Chilik on that side, because Chilik can't defend well. That's why I wouldn't be surprised if Ibanez starts as a fullback. let me think how. Let me think this through. But if there's a weird change in the defensive system on Sunday, it's because of Leao. Because we need physique against Giroud, and Smalling and Mancini are gonna occupy themselves on Giroud. But we need someone fast on Leao. Leao is so fast. Leao just, when he cuts in with that ball, no one stops him. That's why the problem on Sunday is gonna be on that side. It's gonna be on Celik. Celik has been good and bad at the same time up to now, but he's another defensive liability. So I would rather start potentially Ibanez as a fullback, just because he's got the balls to slide tackle on Leao. I'm yet to see Celik do that. From now till the end of the season, it's all about results. Fact, don't care about style. True. I mean, yes, 100%. True. It's about results. And I've said this in the match reaction. If we play this boring football, and however it means we always win 1-0, then I'm all up for it. The problem is, unfortunately, the way we've been playing lately is not promising against big teams. So it's gonna be a fun one. Just come back on Sunday. We're gonna have a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of hard work for Celik. Whenever Jose's assistant leads, we don't lose. Where do you think Roma will finish end of the season? I'm gonna answer that question after the Milan game. Answer that again after the Milan game, and I'll answer that, because the Milan game is either gonna boost us, that we could easily get like third, because if we win against Milan, it's gonna boost us a lot confidentially wise. So if we lose against Milan, I think top 4 is not impossible, but it's definitely gonna be hard. But if we win, it's going to boost us a lot. So the Milan game can change many things. So ask that question in the match reaction of the Milan game, and I'll definitely come up to it. Are we going to win the UCL? Yes, this season. Even if we're not in it, we're going to win it. Someone you missed, Brian Casemiro. True. I mean, Jose's got an obsession with Casemiro, but I just think Tammy has to start this game. And meaning Tammy, Nico, and Dybala and Pellegrini will start together means that Pellegrini has to drop back down. And to Mark Tonali, we need experience. That's why I put Matic. But again, he could easily start. Celik will handle Leao. Lack the confidence, mate. Is Roma leadership serious about this project? Because this squad cannot be expected to win. Top 6 will be a miracle with this squad. Says Rishi, I'm not stressed about Leao. We're going to manage to keep the Georgian... I'm not stressed about Leao. We managed to keep the Georgian for Napoli very quiet. But Leao's better than Kvaratskhelia for me. You see, I don't like... Kvaratskhelia is amazing. But I don't like how people are comparing him to Maradona. Like, people have been calling him Kvaradona. I know it's a joke, but... he's played 3 good months. Already against Inter Milan, he was unexistent. Leao has been playing Leao's been playing really well for 2 years now. So as things stand, I think Leao is better than Kvaratskhelia. I'm just afraid Kvaratskhelia can be a one-player season, but a one-season player, sorry. But I might be wrong here. He's amazing. I wish I'd had him in my team, but I just think Leao's better. Where is the investment? Mate, you have to realize that financial fair play is killing us. I can't do anything else about explaining how financial fair play is killing this team. So, you see, I'd love to invest money on the project. I'd love for the team to give 3 players every January, 3 to 5 players every transfer window to Mourinho. I'd love that too, but unfortunately, we are not PSG. We don't have the power to go against UEFA. And financial fair play, I've done 24 minutes speaking about the current financial fair play and the amount of money we've lost in these last seasons. So that's it. I think if we get 0-0, it will count as a win. Oh, definitely. A draw would be massive. Leao's the best player in this era. I agree. Simon, forget it. We are winning 100%. Wow, 100%! Daytronics Abwakwa says. I love the confidence. But yeah, if you aren't already, please make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Come back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Italian time because we have 20 minutes. We're going to speak for 20 minutes to a Roma journalist, the same guy who spoke to us this summer about the transfer window. So prepare your questions. We're going to go through all of them. And yeah, let's see if we can get a broader insight of Roma's position in the January window. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the link of my channel with your families and friends, and I will catch you very soon. Everyone right now, smash that like button, because if you do, a biscuit is going to collapse from the ceiling the second you click that subscribe button. You want that biscuit, I know. Oh my god, look at my hair. I look like Bob Dylan caught on fire. I'll catch you soon. Simon, out.